Hi everyone, and welcome to Backcountry Gear Shed. In today's video I'm going to be showing you the 3 essential knots that every beginner knot tyer should learn. These particular knots are going to be useful for any outdoorsman, anyone who's into bushcrafting, survival, wilderness skills. Really, these types of knots are going to be useful even for someone who might own a pickup truck or might lash a load into a trailer at any point in their life. These are practical knots that anyone should learn. So if you haven't learned any knots yet, this is where you should start, in my opinion. The first knot I'm going to show you is the Bowline Knot. For the Bowline Knot, we're going to take our rope or cord and make a loop. Come through, back through our loop, and then we're going to tighten this down. I'm going to do that again a little larger. I didn't give myself much to work with. Run out a little bit more rope and make a loop. The direction you do this loop is very important. If you do this, it's not going to work. Your knot's not going to hold. It will come undone. So be sure that when you make your loop, you go under, you come up through the loop, round, back in, and tighten up your knot. And that is the Bowline Knot. This is a great knot. It's a non-binding knot, and you can tow a car with this knot with the appropriate size rope, something larger than this, and it won't bind. I mean, if you really pull on it, like with a four-wheel drive vehicle, you might actually get a little bit of bind in it. So if you're going to do some pulling like that, I'd recommend shoving a stick in there right in that part of the knot when you tighten it up, and that's going to help you free everything up after you do your serious pulling with it. But in most cases, except for in extreme cases, just this is going to give you a non-binding knot. The Bowline is an essential knot, and absolutely first knot you should learn. Next knot I'm going to show you is the Alpine Butterfly. The Alpine Butterfly allows you to make a loop in the middle of a run of cord. So for that, we're going to make a loop. You see I twisted it up. Now I'm going to give it another twist. Come back around itself and through the hole. And there it is, the Alpine Butterfly loop. A very handy way to add a loop into a run of rope or cord, and one that I highly recommend learning. I'll show you that one again. So we're going to twist a loop, twist it again, fold it back around itself, and there you have the Alpine Butterfly. Now the final knot that I want to show you is called the trucker's hitch, and it combines aspects of both of those knots. First, you tie your Bowline knot on the end to secure the end of your line. You lash in your load, and then at the end, when you need to tighten up that end of your line, you can use what's called a trucker's hitch to tighten that up. Here you can see I've secured the rope between a couple of trees near where I was shooting a moment ago, just to kind of dummy up a situation where you could secure a load or tighten a rope over a load using a trucker's hitch. I'm going to show you that now. So here in the middle of our run is where we can add the Alpine Butterfly that I showed you before. Go ahead and do that. And there we have our Alpine Butterfly. Now I'm going to take the end of the rope, put it through that loop, and tighten it. And now at this point, we've actually gained some mechanical advantage. And it's really an amazing knot. And highly recommend learning this. Again, if you only learn 3 knots, this is absolutely one that you should take the time to learn. Once you get to this point, you can secure it with a couple of half hitches. Now, I didn't really pull tight on this one. I mentioned that you gain some mechanical advantage, and you definitely do. I didn't really demonstrate that. I don't want to damage these trees, but that's the amount of mechanical advantage that you can gain, is I could definitely like pull right into that bark. I'm going to show you that one more time. I know for myself, I've been frustrated in the past when I've learned knots. You see all these videos that people do, or I shouldn't say all these videos. I've seen videos people have done where it leaves me thinking that they say, okay, you just do this and this and this, and then the knot's tied, and it's not really clear what's done in the video, and it's hard really to make a video that shows all of this clearly. I'm doing my best, but honestly, I'm not even sure that this is the format that I would recommend for you to learn these knots. If I had to recommend a format, I would tell you to probably get an app. I've used apps on my phone quite a long time ago, back when I was first learning how to tie these knots. I used an app on my phone, and I'm using a different one today. There's a Knots 3D is a paid app that I actually purchased. It's very good. It's worth the $6 they're asking for it. Hopefully you caught me tying that Alpine Butterfly again there, just demonstrating that loop one more time. Now we can, again, pass the end of that rope through there. And that's where we could really tighten it up. But again, I'm not going to demonstrate just how tight it can go. I don't want to damage these trees. But that gives you the idea. And one other variation, excuse me, I wanted to show you. I showed you that uses the Alpine Butterfly. Honestly, I don't always use the Alpine Butterfly for this. This is what I've seen, like using that Knots 3D app. This is what it will tell you as a trucker's hitch, using that Alpine Butterfly. But I will typically use a different kind of loop. I honestly don't know the name of this loop that I use, but when I first learned the trucker's hitch, I was taught you just take your rope, put at least 2 of those little twists in there, then grab this and pull through, and then you have your loop. And you can use that for your trucker's hitch. Now, that's not as secure. I can see why maybe the official way would be to have that Alpine Butterfly in there, because with this, it can slip around a little bit more. See how you have some movement in there? And the Alpine Butterfly, you're not going to have any flex in this. But I do like making my loops that way. One thing I really like about it is that once you're done, they just come right out, like so. Just pull on it, it comes out. Show you that one again. Just twist at least twice, and then pull right through here, and you got the loop. But again, I don't think I'm probably the best teacher. This is the best way for you to learn these. I highly recommend getting an app such as Knots 3D, or maybe one of the free apps that's available. And if you have any questions about any of this or any feedback, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Hope you found this useful, and thank you for watching.